The rain is on and off here at East Clayton Community Park, but the game is on as the Oak City Gliders have made the drive from our state's capital to take on the Clayton Clovers. These teams did meet in exhibition play on Tuesday, where the Clovers took advantage of a disastrous inning for the Gliders pitching staff, striking up 11 runs in one go as the Clovers took them down 15-4 in 7 innings. Clovers look to keep that success rolling as they've seemed to find their stride after starting the season 1-3. In the other dugout, the Gliders now have to look for answers against Clayton's bats and hot pitching. Now the Gliders are looking at an almost entirely different batting lineup today, changing out 7 of the 9 hitters from Tuesday. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Leading off for the Gliders will be number 10, Neo Drew. He is one of the returners from last Tuesday, followed up by Will Hovey, Levi Carlton, Nick Rice, Tyler Spruill, Keaton Anderson, Sean Donahue, another one of the returners, Blake Benoit, Cooper Ferguson. And then on the mound for your Clayton Clovers is going to be number 35, Brandon Humphreys, making his first appearance of the season. He is out of Methodist University, originally from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. He's in his sophomore year at Methodist University, and in his 2 years so far, he has a career 5.51 ERA, 4.2 record with 32 2/3 innings pitched with 19 strikeouts. So we're expecting a pretty good showing out of Humphreys here today. Without any further ado, let's get right to the game. Neo Drew is going to step up to the plate. Neo Drew on Tuesday night went 0 for 2 from the plate. Struck out twice, was hit by a pitch once, and also reached base on a fielder's choice. Both strikeouts were swinging. So now the count is 2-0 here for Neo Drew. Brandon Humphreys finds himself down in the count. And that first one's going to be swung at and hit foul down the left-hand side. Brings the count up now to 2-1. One of the things that will be interesting to see is how the Gliders respond after such a game on Tuesday, as that one's hit right to Humphreys. And he'll hand it off to Jackson Dunlop out at first. And that is out number 1. It's going to be number 8, Will Hovey, up next. Your Clovers out in the field from left to right. Paxton Huff, Jack Stark making his debut, Garrett Moffitt. First to short, you got Jackson Dunlap at first. Seems to be his usual position here. Second base is Caleb Carey, third base Davey Morgan, and shortstop Zach Zatolski also seems to be his spot. Davey Morgan started off in second, but they've seemed to settle out at third. And Will Hovey here, the sophomore out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, finds himself in a quick 0-2 count. So now the pressure's on as now next one's going to come just a bit low. Brings it up to a 1-2 count. Clovers started off last game pretty hot, scoring 1 run in the first as that ball's hit into play. Throw that off to Jackson Dunlap, and that is 2 up, 2 down here for the Gliders. And it's going to be number 7, Levi Carlton, another Wake Tech Community College athlete here. A few of them on the lineup. This will be the Oak City Gliders' first game in league play. They've played 2 games outside of it, including Tuesday's loss to the Clovers. They come in with a record of 0-2. Meanwhile, the Clovers 3-3, but 2-3 in league play. I'm sure the Clovers would love nothing more than to even that up here tonight. Interesting to see almost an entirely different lineup out of the Gliders, as Oak City on Tuesday night certainly seemed to be a lot smaller in physicality, and the Clovers definitely do stand out with just how big and athletic they are, as pointed out by assistant coach Matt Ellsworth. A great take there by Levi Carlton brings the count up to 3-1. So the Gliders have themselves the first true batters count of the night. That's going to be low, and that's going to be walk number 1.
First base again with 2 outs. Brings up the first baseman. He's from Wake Forest, North Carolina, by way of
So now up next, number 31, Nick Reese. Now the Gliders with that smaller lineup on Tuesday, things clearly seem to have changed between now and then. Don't know if they were waiting on a few guys to come in or just waiting on a few things to click, but certainly a much bigger lineup here for the Gliders. Matches up a lot better against the Clovers. As that one's hitting to play towards the shortstop, Zoltowski whip it over to first. Jackson Dunlap makes the play, and that's going to wrap up the top of the first here. One left on, and the Clovers are heading up to bat. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Clayton Clovers baseball. Welcome back into East Clayton Community Park here, where we are in the bottom of the first, and Clayton is looking to strike first here. They had 4 batters step up to the plate in the top of the first. 3 of them grounded out. 1 of them drew a walk. On the mound here for the Gliders is going to be number 15, Ben Saab, a junior out of Marietta College, originally from Durham, North Carolina. At Marietta College, he's only pitched 1 inning so far with 1 strikeout, 0 ERA. So in that full inning, he clearly got done what he needed to, as throughout this game, he will be looking to get done what needs to be done. Now, what we've noticed through a lot of these teams early on in the season is that they're kind of rotating through a lot of their pitching staff to see who's who, who's what, who they want to keep on, who they might want to send off. So you only see a lot of these pitchers come up for 3 innings or so at a time. But we've seen as the Clovers have gotten a little deeper in the season, a little more hashed out on their roster, they've started to start guys a little longer. But it'll be number 10, Garrett Moffitt, leading it off here for the Clovers. That first one's going to get hit into left field. Caught by the shortstop, though. That's going to be a leadoff out here right off the bat.
Your center fielder from Virginia Beach, Virginia, by way of Gaston College. Freshman number 17.
Now, number 17, Jack Stark, is going to make his debut this season. Comes out of Gaston College, originally from Virginia Beach. Can double as an outfielder or a right-handed pitcher. Wouldn't be shocked to see him step up into the pitching staff at some point in the season. A lot of these rotating players we've seen in the Clovers lineup so far, they can, switch between fielding or pitching. We actually have seen in both positions so far. Jack Stark, a freshman at Gaston College. Now works up a 2-0 count here against Ben Saab. An important thing to note here with Ben Saab is although he does not have a lot of innings pitched there at Marietta College, a lot of different factors can play into that. He may have just transferred there, whatever, but nonetheless, him as a junior, he comes in with wisdom and experience. For a lot of these younger guys is hard swing and a miss there from Jack Stark, and now the count is evened up at 2-2. A lot of times that extra age and wisdom can play a huge factor in just how well you play here in the Old North State League. So that one's hit right towards the first baseman. He'll make the play, though, and that's going to be 2 up, 2 down for the Clovers. It's going to be who else but number 2, Davey Morgan, stepping up next. Davey Morgan out of NC Wesleyan, clearly one of the Clovers' star players throughout this season. Ever since he's gotten here, the Clovers have had a major turnaround. Morgan had a large part in the Clovers' 15-4 win over the Gliders on Tuesday. He went 3 for 3 on the night, drew 2 walks, and that's going to get past the third baseman. Davey Morgan's going to get things going here for the Clovers and make it to first base. Now Mike Snyder stepping up to the plate here. Mike Snyder and Davey Morgan have been a dynamic duo here for the Clovers. Oftentimes we see their success correlating. When Davey's hitting, so is Mike. Mike having himself just slightly an off day on Tuesday. Managed to draw a few walks and also drew a hit by pitch, so he made it to base nonetheless. The Clovers have not lost a game since we've seen this Davey Morgan, Mike Snyder lineup in the third and fourth batting position. First pitch will come in as a ball. Mike Snyder's at Indiana Tech, originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And they'll check on Davey Morgan. They'll call him safe. Pitch came in for a strike, though, so it evens up the count at 1-1. Snyder, one of the older players on this team, is a senior. Listed on the roster as a potential catcher, but we've primarily been seeing him at second base. Today, though, they'll be having him just designated hitting. They'll check on Morgan again, and they'll catch him. That's going to wrap up the bottom of the first. Much better start here for the Gliders than on Tuesday night. Gliders look to keep things going. We're heading to the top of the second. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. Welcome back into Clayton, North Carolina here as Brendan Humphreys takes the mound for his second inning of work. The Gliders had not quite a 1-2-3 inning, but did catch that third batter off-handed at first base. So only 3 batters out. Now Clayton looks to keep things rolling and get back to offense. And Tyler Sproul leads off here with a hit right towards the shortstop. Zoltowski makes the catch, and that's going to be out number 1. Tyler Sproul from Miles College, originally from Durham, North Carolina. Now it's going to be number 29, Keaton Anderson, the designated hitter here for the Oak City Gliders. He's out of Coker University. Actually a Clayton native, so he is playing on his home turf here today, as they'll also hit that one straight up. And it looks like the center fielder, Jack Stark's going to make the catch. And that is 2 quick outs here for the Gliders. They're moving here in Clayton, and it's going to be number 18, Sean Donahue, out of Case Western Reserve University, another Durham native here for the Oak City Gliders. Sean Donahue went 1 for 2 on Tuesday. Donahue drew 2 walks. They'll call that one foul. But on Tuesday night, he drew 2 walks, singled the first on his first at-bat, and then struck out. Glider staff clearly believe in him, as he is one of the few returners back in this lineup. Familiar face behind the plate here for the Clovers, as that is fouled back. And Alex Levesque, number 4. Levesque started as catcher the first few games and had himself some pretty spectacular nights. Then did not play for a few games, presumably to give him some rest. As that's a drop, strike 3, and they'll make the out at first, and we are going to the bottom of the second already. Clayton Clovers look to strike first here at East Clayton Community Park. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball.
Baseball Academy is the
We return here to what's shaping up to be a beautiful day here in Clayton, North Carolina, as the Oak City Gliders look for revenge against the Clayton Clovers, this time in league play. To be Mike Snyder leading off here for the Clovers. He was up at bat at the end of last inning, but David Morgan was caught at first. So Snyder makes his return to the plate. It's going to be 15 Ben Snob still on the mound for the Oak City Gliders. He comes in to take his second inning of work. So Mike Snyder, again, designated hitter, usually a second baseman here for the Clovers. Listed on the roster as a catcher, though. And that first one's going to come right down the middle for strike number 1. They'll call time. as the catcher looks to be changing out his glove. Catcher's gloves, more than anyone, will take a beating throughout a game. Usually receiving more than 100, 150 pitches a night if you include the warm-up pitches. But we are back in play here. That first one's going to get high. Mike Snyder's got to dodge it and lose his helmet in the process. Mike Snyder has a astonishing number of hit-by pitches so far this season. He drew 4 in just his first 2 games. Drew another on Tuesday night. He's going to come in for strike number 2 now. He finds himself down in a 1-2. And here comes the pitch from Ben Saab. That one's going to get hit towards the third baseman. They'll throw it off to first, and they'll make the play. Mike Snyder is out at first. Great fielding by the Gliders. Not something they actually struggled with on Tuesday night. Their fielding was pretty good overall. They were able to make a lot of plays. It's primarily their pitching that got them. So far, not an issue here. And it's the hometown kid, Jackson Dunlap, first baseman for the Clovers, stepping up next. And Dunlap's going to hit that first one into right field. Right fielder is under it, and he'll make the grab. That's a quick out number 2 here. And it's going to be the catcher, Alex Levesque, up next.
He's your backstop.
Another Clayton native. A lot of Clayton natives here in this Clovers lineup and roster. Clayton very clearly a baseball culture town, as much of North Carolina is. First ball comes in low for a ball. Baseball culture here in North Carolina really is unrivaled. Another reason you can have something like the Old North State League just centered in North Carolina and have so many teams in it. 15. North Carolina also has a strong showing in the College World Series this year with 8 different North Carolina teams making it to the tournament. Most out of any state here in the NCAA. That's going to be foul tip now for a 1-2 count. Our leadoff hitter, Garrett Moffitt, a North Carolina State University athlete, is one of the teams. That ball is hit foul to the left side. Count will remain 1-2 here. Levesque not making it easy here for Ben Saab, making him work for this out. Now Alex Levesque looking to get things rolling here. Fantastic take there. We'll even up the count at 2-2. Clovers had Davey Morgan on first before he was caught. Sense of ahead. 2 straight ground out, fly outs. That's going to be a hard swing and a miss for strike 3. And Ben Saab records his first strike, his first strikeout of the night. It's a 1-2-3 inning here for the Oak City Gliders. And now they are up to bat. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. It was a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Clayton Clovers. Now the Oak City Gliders are back up, ready to strike.
Humphreys back on the mound for your Clovers.
Humphreys taking on his third inning of work. And it's going to be Blake Benoit here for the Oak City Gliders, a sophomore out of Barton College,
We hit to the top of the
originally
third.
from
Coming to the
Wake
plate,
Forest,
leading off
North
for the Gliders,
Carolina.
baseman, number 34, Blake, been lost.
Both sides have been pretty effective. We haven't seen too many pitchers duels here so far in the Clayton Clovers season. One comes to mind where it was a tie game going into the seventh inning at 0-0 as that one's grounded right to the pitcher and will be a quick out. Now it's Cooper Ferguson, number 3, third baseman, originally from Jacksonville, North Carolina, as he'll look to get things rolling here for the Gliders. That first ball is going to get hit foul. Despite the Clovers starting hot last game, they jumped to a 4-0 lead within the first 2 innings. Gliders had the answers as they managed to tie up the game 4-4 going into the 4th inning before disaster struck. So it's clear the Gliders do have this capability to connect with the bats. Right now, both teams struggling with that as we may be locked into a pitcher's duel here. That ball's inside. Brings it up to a 2-1 count now. And that's going to come in for strike number 2. One of the interesting things to pick apart here with the teams across the Old North State League is just how many places that they pull their players from all across the country. Gliders on Tuesday had someone from Los Gatos, California, all the way across the country, seeing quite a few Texas people. That ball's hit up, and it's under Moffitt. Moffitt will make the catch. That's going to be out number 2. It's going to be Neo Drew. Coming up for his second at-bat of the game. Now, one of the interesting things I'm seeing here with Oak City's lineup, particularly with tonight, is they are comprised of all North Carolina natives, which is pretty unique so far, as Neo Drew will stumble off the bat. Dunlap's going to make the catch. That's going to be out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. Welcome back into Clayton, North Carolina here, where pitching has been strong, fielding has been even stronger. And Clayton is now up to bat.
From Raleigh, North Carolina, by way of University of Mount
It's going to be number 6, Zach Zoltowski, up to bat here. Zoltowski was the hero of the night last Friday night as he walked off the game. As he'll hit it right to the third baseman. He'll chuck it on over to first, and that's going to be a quick out.
That brings up your second baseman. He's from Benson.
Clovers here have been swinging right off the bat, which is not something we are used to seeing here. Used to a lot more patient hitting here from the Clovers, but it seems like Ben Saab's giving him looks. And Clovers are making contact with him. They just can't get him where they want him right now. But it's going to be number 28, Caleb Carey. Now going to try his luck as first swing and a miss for a strike. The first game here was also pretty heated between both teams. Seemed like it was going to be a pretty intense rivalry with chirping coming strong from both dugouts as that is hit towards center field. And they'll be underneath it. That's going to be out number 2 here as we are 2 up, 2 down.
2 up, 2 down. Now
and it's going to be Paxton Huff up next.
By way of Dallas University, your left fielder. He's a
Paxton
freshman.
Huff coming
9,
from
Paxton.
all the way out in Plano, Texas. Long way to come out, but what a league to come out to here with the Old North State League, the Players League. As that first pitch will come right down the middle for strike number 1. Something we saw a lot of early on in the season for the Clovers were these 3-2 counts. We got 25 full counts between both teams in the first 2 games as now Paxton Huff finds himself in an 0-2 count here. But the Clovers have been swinging often and early these past few games, and it has usually worked out for them. As Huff's going to make contact with that one. It'll take a hard bounce. Shortstop will throw it. It's not going to matter. Paxton Huff will reach first base. And we are now back to the top of the order here for the Clayton Clovers as Garrett Moffitt is going to step back up to the plate here.
That brings back to the plate your right fielder, number 10, Garrett Moffitt.
You can never really count out the Clovers no matter how many outs are on the board. They tend to excel in 2-out hitting and scoring. Very much a team that likes to play with their backs against the wall. And now with a runner on first, Garrett Moffitt has the chance to get things rolling. First pitch will come down for strike number 1, though. Ben Lobb looking to keep it a pitcher's duel here. As he'll check on Paxton Huff as the chorus of backs rings out from the Clovers dugout. Next ball will come in low. Now a 1-1 count here. Moffitt did not play his freshman year at NC State. Was redshirted. So he still has 4 years of eligibility remaining. As that's going to come on the outside. Now a 2-1 count here for Garrett Moffitt. Paxton Huff takes a pretty sizable leadoff, but does not take it as strike number 2 comes in now. 2-2 count here for Garrett Moffitt. Talk about backs against the wall here. He's down to his final strike of the inning. And Paxton Huff's going to take off. That pitch is going to get by the catcher. So now we've worked our way up to the first full count of the night. Garrett Moffitt taking a very patient at-bat. And now they've got a runner in scoring position here in Paxton Huff at second. Now the Clovers knocking on the door here, letting the Gliders know they need to shut it. If you leave just a crack of the door open here for the Clovers, they tend to pounce. And that ball is hit deep into right field. Right fielder is going to get under it, and that's going to end the bottom of the third here. We're heading to the top of the fourth, still in this pitcher's duel. 0-0, and the Oak City Gliders are up next to bat. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Clayton Clovers baseball.
The Clover has got some confidence.
Welcome back into East Clayton Community Park here,
Leading off,
where the Oak City Gliders are now back up to bat here. It's been a lot of pop flies, ground outs, not a lot of strikeouts, and certainly not a lot of hits. Not seen many walks either today. As this first pitch comes in for strike number one, Brendan Humphreys coming on here for his fourth inning of work. As that's going to be a foul tip into the glove for strike number two. And they will take a good swing at that one.
Huff slides under that one in left.
But Huff's got it out in left field. That's
Shortstop now
a
for the
quick
Gliders.
out number one.
Number 7, Levi Carlton.
It's going to be the shortstop here, Levi Carlton, for the Clovers, or for the Gliders, I should say. After a quick out by the Clovers, Carlton, who drew the lone walk so far. So that first one comes in low. He'll make good contact with that one. That's out in left center field. That's going to be a base hit for Levi Carlton.
For the Gliders, puts a runner at first with
Now
one
a
out.
runner at first
Now, number
with
31,
one out on the board. This is one of the best looks we've seen so far for either team. Now it's number 31, Nick Reese. The sophomore out of Chowan University is going to foul the first one. Got a lot of Chowan University teammates on the Clovers. Few in the starting lineup as well. Caleb Carey, Jackson Dunlap, just to name a few, both in the starting lineup. It's always interesting when you see that's going to be fouled, as he'll take off for a second, but he'll have to make his way back. So I'm saying it's always interesting whenever you see teammates up against each other on the mound. And there's, for example, Bradley Wilborn is another Trowan University athlete. When he was up on the mound, he pitched against quite a few Trowan University batters. It's pretty even based on how many times they got out versus how many times they got to base. That's going to get hit into play. Hit out to the second baseman. They'll try and turn it for two, and they will. A 4-6-3 double play for the Clayton Clovers here, and we are heading to the bottom of the fourth. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball.
Clovers, bottom of the fourth.
We are heading into the bottom of the fourth inning here. Have a quick-paced game so far. Got ourselves a pitcher's duel as number 15, Ben Saab for the Oak City Gliders will take on his fourth inning of work. It's going to be 2, 3, 4 due up here for the Clayton Clovers as they throw down, meaning we are ready for baseball here.
Coming to the plate, leaning off the bottom of the fourth, your center fielder, number 17, Jack Stark.
It's going to be Jack Stark here leading off for the Clayton Clovers. Stark in his debut here. Currently 0 for 1 on the day so far. Only Paxton Huff and Davey Morgan reaching first. As that first one comes on down low for ball number 1. A pitcher's duel it has been so far today. As that first one is rocketed out into right center field. Jack Stark is going to lead off single here for the Clayton Clovers. And now with Davey Morgan stepping up to the plate and no outs on the board, Clayton could be in a position here to get things moving. Davey Morgan, the junior at NC Wesleyan, has had himself quite a career as a Clover so far. He helped the Clovers reach the CCL championship last year and win. So they're going to check on Jack Stark there at first. Morgan had 147 at-bats with a .372 batting average last season. As that's going to be up high, and they're going to check down on Stark again, but they won't get him. They are keeping these Clovers base runners on their toes, having already caught one in Davey Morgan. Morgan also hit 14 home runs and drove in 30 RBI last season, and he is certainly on track to put up similar numbers. As ball number 2 comes in, Davey Morgan has to jump back out of the way. Still not a home run hit here at East Clayton Community Park. But power has not been something the Clovers have been lacking. And they're going to check on Stark again, but the ball's going to get away from the first baseman. He's going to make it to second, think about third, but he will stay put at second. And now a runner in scoring position here for Davey Morgan, who has worked up a 2-0 count so far with no outs on the board. 3-0 count, excuse me. So Morgan now pretty much gets free will to do whatever he wants on this next pitch. And he'll hit that one right to the third baseman. So that's going to be out number 1. Jack Stark's going to remain at second.
That brings up your designated hitter.
So now here comes number 5, Mike Snyder. Easily one of the biggest guys on the field. Has been able to show off that power so far this season in his 2 games. That first one is down in the dirt for ball number 1. Now, so only 1 out on the board. Clovers still have the chance here with Jack Stark out in scoring position there, taking a hefty lead off from second. And Snyder's going to rocket that one out to left field. Third base coach is signaling that Jack Stark's coming home. Snyder's going to make it all the way over to second, and the Clovers are going to take the lead here as Mike Snyder records that RBI double, and he'll hit the crane all the way over there. So now Clayton strikes first here. And the hometown kid, Jackson Dunlap's going to step up to the plate. Snyder showing off that power there. Now he's in scoring position, just 1 out on the board. They'll think about checking on him, enough to bring him back, but the ball will not be thrown. It's now Ben Saab. Looks to get things back on track here for the Oak City Gliders as the first pitch registers in as a ball. And that pitch is going to have some great movement. Even up the count now at 1-1. Saab's going to look down on Mike Snyder, but will pitch it out as a strike to Jackson Dunlap. 1-2 count here for number 3-2. And Mike Snyder would love to be brought home, I'm sure. And Jackson Dunlap's going to hit that up in the air towards right field. The right fielder is under it. He'll make the play, but Mike Snyder's going to tag up to third. He'll be safe. So now with 2 outs on the board here, Alex Levesque's going to step up to the plate, and Mike Snyder will be in third base. So Clovers knocking on the door here to potentially have this lead just a bit more. That's how things got started for the Clovers on Tuesday night, was 1 run, except it was in the first inning. From there, they were just rolling. So that first one's going to be up high. Clovers fans all around the state, I'm sure, are happy to see Alex Levesque here back in the lineup. The other catchers have served us well. Something about familiarity with Alex Levesque, who started off the season for us. Maldonado not in the lineup tonight, who has been previously in almost every game, if not every game. Catcher can be hard on the body, though, so it's very good for Clayton that they have multiple strong catchers that they have faith in to stick back there. Keep everyone fresh throughout the season. Levesque was a very physical catcher, throwing himself at quite a few balls for plays. And Levesque will make contact with that one. It's heading out towards center field. And they'll make the catch over towards the warning track.
No runs.
And that's going to be
Correction, 1 run.
3 outs here for the Clovers.
1 left on.
They take the lead here at the bottom of the 4th. We're heading to the top of the 5th, where Oak City looks to strike back. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. We are coming into the top of the 5th inning here. The Clovers struck first at the bottom of the 4th, putting up a run. Now it's the Gliders' chance to strike back here.
It's your 50-50 raffle ticket.
Previously was a pretty strong pitcher's duel. Brandon Humphreys will continue on the mound. Still has the opportunity to qualify for that. As really, Ben Saab has had himself a phenomenal game despite allowing a run here at the bottom of the 4th. Very few games so far this season for the Clovers have started so slow, yet so fast-paced at the same time. And Levesque's going to throw down. We are set here to begin the top of the 5th inning. It's going to be number 22 for the Oak City Gliders, Tyler Spruill, the left fielder out of Miles College. He is a junior there, originally from Durham, North Carolina. That first one's going to come just a bit inside for ball number 1. Humphreys has himself a strikeout on the night, a walk on the night, and has otherwise relied on his fielders to get things done, and that they have. And Spruill will make contact with that one. Jackson Dunlap's going to chase it down, though. He'll make the catch in foul territory, and that's going to be out number 1 here for the Oak City Gliders. It'll be number 29, Keaton Anderson, the designated hitter out of Coker University. A Clayton, North Carolina native, though. Keaton Anderson is 0 for 1 on the night. And he'll take that first one right down the middle for strike number 1. Anderson, who has had himself a good hit there towards center field. Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Goodness!
Center fielder Jack Stark. He is having himself a game. Reaching home. What a diving catch there. And Jack Stark just might be a name that Clovers fans should pay attention to. He's making a statement here in his debut, and that is 2 quick outs here for the Oak City Gliders.
For the catcher, number 18, Sean Donahue.
It's going to be number 18, Sean Donahue, up next, and that is what I'm talking about. Brandon Humphreys has been able to just rely on his fielders to make incredible plays such as that. So that ball is going to get hit towards right center field. Moffitt will be underneath that. That's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for the Clovers. We are going to the bottom of the fifth. What a play again by Jack Stark.
Again, 1, 2, 3.
Clovers look to expand on their lead. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. It's going to be 7-8-9 due up here for the Clayton Clovers as they look to build upon a 1-0 lead.
Coming to the plate, your shortstop.
It's going to be Ben Sopp on the mound again, working on his fifth inning. Clearly, both teams have a lot of confidence in both of these pitchers as they have been absolutely dealing today. As Axel Tolsky up to the plate now, number 6 for the Clovers. Attends Mount Olive University. With a Raleigh native. So that's going to be a foul tip. Bring up the count to 0-1. So Tolsky found himself to be the hero of the night. We started talking about it, and then he immediately flew out. But Zoltolsky, with the bases loaded, drove home Davey Morgan on Friday night, which gave the Clovers their first home win of the season and seemingly their confidence as they have been on a roll since then. Now Zoltolsky finds himself in an 0-2 count. And that's going to be a hard drop, strike 3. But they will make the play over to first base. That's going to be out number 1 here for the Clovers.
Coming to the plate. Your
Second drop strike
number
of the
28,
night.
Caleb Carey.
Haven't seen those too often here. But now Caleb Carey is going to step up to the plate. Carey's going to swing at that first pitch, make contact with it. We're heading right towards center field. And a pretty impressive catch there by, I believe, the right fielder.
2 outs in the inning. Brings up your left fielder.
It's going to be 2 quick outs.
Plano, Texas.
But now Paxton Huff is going to step up. Huff has been a monster for the Clovers so far this season. Also out in the field. He is 1 for 1 so far on the day. Drove a single in. As that first pitch is going to come in for strike number 1. Two outs on the board here, and nobody on base for the Clovers. As that'll come in low, bring up the count to 1-1. Thirsty Thursday here at East Clayton Community Park, as the Clayton Clovers have driven in a pretty good crowd here. Just $2 beers. That'll be Thirsty Thursdays every Thursday throughout the season. As Paxton Huff's going to hit that towards center field. That's going to drop and hit the wall. Paxton Huff is coming towards second, and that'll be a standing double for Paxton Huff. 2 for 2 on the night. A single, then a double. My goodness.
That's going to bring up your right fielder.
One of the things you got to do when you get the nod from head coach Landry Moore here is you got to show off that you are ready to compete for the Clovers. They've got a lot of strong players on their roster, and those who perform have oftentimes stayed in the lineup, and Paxton Huff is making his case now. We're back to the top of the lineup as that first ball hits the dirt a few feet before home plate. Excellent block by the catcher, though. It's going to be ball number 1. Garrett Moffitt is 0 for 2 on the night, both on flyouts. Beautiful day now here in East Clayton Community Park. Had a few scattered showers in the area, but is currently partly cloudy, 74 degrees. A perfect night to watch some baseball. Moffitt now working a 2-0 count here. He'll rip that one foul. 2 outs on the board, but a runner in scoring position in Paxton Huff. The Clovers on Sunday night will rematch against the Kinston Wingmen. We hope you'll join us here at East Clayton Community Park, and if not, you can always tune in on the Old North State League website to watch the broadcast. Now a 3-1 count here for Moffitt. John Loomis on the call with you tonight, voice of the Clayton Clovers. Hoping my color analyst, Will Dobson, will join me on Sunday, as Garrett Moffitt's going to draw a walk, and he'll reach base for the first time tonight.
Moffitt draws the 2 out. Puts runners at first and second.
Dobson, who has been traveling the world the past few weeks, was in England, went to a few Premier League matches. Excited to hear from him on Sunday night. They'll come and have a quick meeting here with Ben Saab, but he will stay on the mound. Runners now on first and second as Jack Stark steps up to the plate. Had a single at his last at-bat. And Paxton Huff's going to take off for third. He's going to get there. Pass is going to be dropped by the third baseman. Paxton Huff is going to make it home. That is another run now for the Clayton Clovers, as Garrett Moffitt will advance to second base.
More than a bank, they're your neighbor. And they treasure that. Another Clovers run.
Clovers have been deadly on the base running. Davey Morgan stole 2 bases in 1 go, similar to Paxton Huff just there last game. Mike Snyder, who also was able to steal home on a pass ball last game. And they'll make contact with that ball. It's going just foul, just out of play. It'll drop behind the Oak City Gliders dugout. As now Stark finds himself in a rare 0-2 count here. That ball is going to hit the dirt. And the catcher there for the Gliders will make sure nobody advances. Sean Donahue. Donahue, who had himself a pretty strong game in game 1. Reached base 3 of the 4 times he was at the plate. And that'll come outside for ball number 2. Jack Stark fighting his way back into an even count. That's going to be up high, and now Stark finds himself in his first full count of the night. We've only had a few so far today, just marking 2. Both on the Clovers side, showing off just how patient they can be at bat. They're willing to make the pitcher work for it. And runner's going to take off. It's going to be strike 3. It doesn't matter. That's the 3rd out of the inning. We are heading to the top of the 6th. Clovers put another one on the board. They are now up 2-0. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball.
2-0.
Welcome back into Clayton, North Carolina here, where the Clovers find themselves up 2 here in the top of the 6th in what has been a very pitcher-dominant game so far.
Second baseman number 34, Blake Benoit.
It's going to be number 34, Blake Benoit, now at the plate. The sophomore out of Barton College. He's been playing second base for the Gliders all night. Will foul that first one right in the dirt in front of him. Blake's originally from Wake Forest, North Carolina, just down the road. Up the road, depending on who you ask. We'll take a hard swing and a miss now for a strike 2. Brandon Humphreys having himself a stellar game so far in his 6th inning as work. Kept his pitch count pretty low, forcing a lot of batters to swing, create pop flies, create groundouts. His field has been excellent for him today, and a large reason he has been so successful. That's going to be a hard swing and a miss for strike 3.
Strikeout number 2 on the day for Humphreys.
Blake
Benoit brings up the third baseman now, number 3.
Thought he had it there, but had nothing but his bat. And now Brandon Humphreys has worked up his count to 2 strikeouts with 1 walk and a handful of field outs. That first one will come in. First one will come in for ball number 1 here. And that one's going to get fouled straight up and back. a 1-1-1 count here. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. So that's going to be inside for ball number 2. Cooper Ferguson, who is currently 0 for 1 on the night. Another great take. Make him 3-1. The Gliders have not made it through their lineup twice so far through 6 innings. Just goes to show how dominant this Clovers defense has been, as that is fouled off, and we have Brandon Humphrey's first full count of the night here against Cooper Ferguson. Be interesting to see how he responds to the pressure. And it's going to be just a bit low. Good take by Cooper Ferguson. And he will draw the walk with just 1 out on the board. They now have a runner at first. It's going to be Neo Drew here up next. 0 for 2 on the night. Had himself a much better night on Tuesday. We'll think about that one, but no. Another ball here for Brandon Humphreys, wondering if he is starting to get a little tired. And that's going to come in for strike number 1, even up the count now at 1-1. They've got a runner on first and also 1 out on the board. Runner will take off. Alex Levesque throws way too high. They will not advance past second, though. So Cooper Ferguson will advance to second. It was a strike, though, so now a 1-2 count here for Neo Drew. Just 1 out on board here. Now Alex Levesque comes up to take a quick meeting here with Brandon Humphreys, who has been dominant all night. He has been efficient and effective. Alex Levesque probably letting them know what to look for here. Catchers tend to have the best eye here for the batters. They know what they like to swing at, what they don't like to swing at. And even though they've only seen each other twice so far, that third time down the count can certainly be a lot more perilous for the pitchers, not just because they could be getting tired, but batters tend to start to get the read of pitchers on your third time down, which we've even seen with the Clovers, who have now put up 2 runs on their third time down with Ben Saab. That one is fouled, keeps the count at 1-2. And that one's going to get hit into play. Shortstop will take it, whip it over to first. They'll make the play. Now 2 outs on the board, and the Gliders have a runner at third. So now Will Hovey's going to step up with his opportunity to cut into this Clovers lead here. He is the sophomore out of Wake Tech Community College, originally from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And Brandon Humphreys has the opportunity to get out of his 6th inning unscathed. That one's going to come way outside. Good catch by Alex Levesque, though. Make it a 1-0 count here. Now Humphreys on the pitch. Also going to be low in the dirt. Alex Levesque is going to lose it. But he'll go ahead and show you just how willing he is to throw his body at it. He'll save a run. It was good awareness by Brandon Humphreys, too, to rush up to home plate. Keeps Cooper Ferguson on third. Is now a 2-0 count. Shines off of the scoreboard out of left field. And that one's hit way up high as Will Hovey is frustrated with himself.
Carey.
Going to be caught by Caleb Carey. They'll leave a runner on scoring position out at third. We're heading to the bottom of the second. Clovers still lead 2-0.
2-0.
Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. Welcome back into Clayton, North Carolina here as a new pitcher has taken the mound for the Oak City Gliders here in the bottom of the sixth. It's going to be number 4, Jack Davis out of Georgia. Clovers here find themselves in a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the sixth as Davey Morgan is going to step up to lead off this inning. Jack Davis, who is a utility player out of University of North Georgia. It's a redshirt sophomore there out of Lilburn, Georgia. So that's going to be a foul ball for strike number 1 here. Davey Morgan makes good contact with that, going to hit it past the second baseman, and that's going to be a leadoff single here for Davey Morgan and the Clayton Clovers. It's going to be Mike Snyder stepping up to the plate now. Snyder, who already has an RBI double on the night so far, looking to keep that hitting power going. He is 1 for 2 on the night so far. He'll swing in that first one, hit towards the third baseman. They'll have a long throw towards first, but they will not get him out. That's an infield single now for Mike Snyder, and the Clayton Clovers have now led off this inning with 2 straight singles. Got runners on first and second, and now it's Jackson Dunlap's turn to try and get things going.
Over the week last week, number 32, Jackson Dunlap.
Jackson Dunlap, who was named the Clover of the Week, had himself a pretty spectacular week, has a 6-game hitting streak right now. That's going to be low in the dirt. Dunlap will let Morgan know not to advance. Dunlap, who is currently 0 for 2 on the night, looking for a hit here to extend his streak. And Jack Davis is going to take his time, check on Davey Morgan. Tell you what, these Oak City Gliders have not been easy on the base runners of the Clovers. Clovers base runners have been responding pretty well so far, having stolen quite a few bases, including home. Now a 1-1 count here for Dunlap. Jack Davis really taking his time between pitches as comes in for ball number 2. Now a 2-1 count here. Clayton has started off hot here, which typically does not bode well for any of the opposing teams. As that's going to get past the catcher, runners will advance to second and third, so now Clovers have 2 runners in scoring position in Davey Morgan and Mike Snyder, possibly 2 of your most dangerous base runners in this lineup. And with no outs on the board, a 3-1 count, Gliders have a base to give, but they're at risk of putting themselves in a jam here of loading the bases with no outs on the board. That'll come in for strike number 2, though. What a way to bounce back here for Jack Davis. Now it's going to be Jackson Dunlap and Jack Davis facing off. Battle of the Jacks. Jackson Dunlap will take a swing at that one. That's going to get past second base. That's going to be a base hit. Davey Morgan's going to come home. Mike Snyder's going to come home. And the Clovers have doubled their lead here as Jackson Dunlap slides into second. That's now a 7-game hitting streak for Dunlap.
Sponsored by KS Bank. More information about KS Bank, visit them online at KS Bank INC.
Dunlap has just been lights out this season. What a great story, too. A hometown kid here from Clayton. And he gets to show out and show off every time he steps up to the plate here at East Clayton Community Park. That's going to draw another pitchers meeting here as Alex Levesque patiently paces back and forth. Jack Davis is going to go ahead and stay out for right now. No outs on the board.
That brings to the plate your catcher,
Jackson Dunlap in scoring position at second base now. Levesque gets his chance to join in on the fun here. As in the bottom of the 6th, the Clovers have now doubled their lead over the Oak City Gliders. It's now a 4-0 game. That's going to come inside and low. Ball number 1. And that's a low hit. That's going to drop into left center field. Alex Levesque gets his name in on the fun. He reaches base for the first time today. Now runners on the corners here for the Clayton Clovers. It's going to be Zach Zoltowski stepping up, shortstop. Zoltowski is also 0 for 2 on the night. Oh, no outs on the board. And runners at first and third. He has a lot of opportunity here to continue blowing this thing open for the Clayton Clovers. They'll check on Levesque at first to no avail. Tell you what, the Gliders have been hard on these Clayton Clovers base runners. That's come in high. Ball number 1 for Zoltowski. Zoltolski, who's been having himself a pretty spectacular game so far as well. Not game, but season, I should say. It's been stellar in that shortstop position as he hits that ball foul. Played shortstop the last few games in a row now for the Clayton Clovers. So he's made a number of plays and very minimal errors. In fact, I don't know if he has recorded an error in these last 3 games. That ball comes in low. Catcher hopped up, ready to throw someone down. 2-1 count now for Zoltolski as Clovers, with runners on the corners and no outs, have the opportunity here to continue extending this lead. That's going to be ball number 3. And last thing you want to see here is after 2 runs getting scored, loading the bases here if you're the Oak City Gliders. Clayton, who will load the bases. Clayton has been really good at notching a few runs here and there, wearing a team's defense and pitcher down. And once the flood dams open, the water floods in, and the Clovers have just been taking advantage of every mistake that the Oak City Gliders have made so far. So now with bases loaded, Caleb Carey up to the plate. He can really blow this game open now. As with a 4-0 lead, no outs. First ball comes in low. Hits the plate. If you are the Oak City Gliders here, at what point do you start thinking about moving to a new pitcher here? Clovers seem to have Jack Davis's number. You really do want to start minimizing the damage, but Davis will find the strike zone here. If you are Jack Davis and the Gliders, what you need to do to instill confidence is to get this strikeout. Don't let anybody advance. Get that first out on the board and let the Clovers know that you are now here to play. That one's going to make it past the shortstop. 1 run's going to come home. Nobody else will. Clovers now take a 5-0 lead as Caleb Carey will reach. And everybody on this Clovers lineup is now having fun. Everybody has now reached base. And the Clovers now turn to the Texas native Paxton Huff to keep this thing going. Gliders found themselves in almost an identical situation here on Tuesday when the Clovers unloaded 11 runs in 1 inning. It was one of those innings, I imagine, as a coach, you take the film, you ball it up, throw it away. You know that your team is not going to keep doing that. They all know what they did wrong. That's going to come in low. Now a 1-1 count here for Paxton Huff, who has had a single and a double. If I were a superstitious man, I'd hold back on saying, but Paxton Huff now should be looking for a triple and a home run, get himself a cycle. And they'll call time. I believe I'm hearing sheep bleats coming out of the Clayton Clovers dugout. This game has had a lot less chirping between both sides than Tuesday night's showing. As that one's hit towards the shortstop. Shortstop's going to make an error. 2 Clovers are going to come around and come home. Everybody just stopped and stared at the ball. The Gliders seem to just be rolling over here. As that's going to be an E6. Paxton Huff reaches base for the 3rd time tonight, and the Clovers keep things rolling now. Base is no longer loaded. Runner on first and second. It's going to be the Wolfpack athlete now stepping up to the plate, and Garrett Moffitt. Runner in scoring position here. Moffitt can keep things going. He drew a walk on his last at-bat. Now, if the Clovers do extend this lead up to 10, we will only play one more inning if it stays that way, as the Old North State League has a mercy rule of 10 runs after 7 innings, or a 10-run lead, I should say. That's going to be a hard swing and a miss there for Moffitt. Evens up the count to 1-1. Don't really want to be the first Clover to get out here, but when you have that 7-0 lead, I imagine you feel pretty comfortable nonetheless. Another hard swing and a miss for Moffitt. One-two count here for the Power 5 hitter. So now Jack Davis takes his time. That's going to be outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. An excellent take there by Garrett Moffitt. After 2 hard swing and misses like that, can be really easy to get in your head, but Moffitt showing just the level of batter he is. And he'll make contact with that, but it is just foul. We'll keep the count at 2-2. Everybody who took off will slowly head back to their places. Jack Davis should have known that Garrett Moffitt was not going to let him get that first out so easily. He's going to have to fight for it. Moffitt will make contact with that one. Hit down towards the second baseman. That's going to be at least a single for Moffitt. Moffitt makes it to first. An RBI single. As Paxton Huff makes it all the way to third. So the carnage continues here at East Clayton Community Park, as now Jack Stark is going to be stepping up. Stark, who struck out at his last at-bat with no outs on the board here. Jack Stark is the last batter who has not batted yet this inning. It's now a 1-0 count here for Stark, as the Clayton Clovers are looking to bat through the lineup here. Clovers managed to do that against the Oak City Gliders as well on Tuesday, where they went through an astonishing 16 batters in one inning. We're currently sitting on our 9th. And runner's going to take off for second. There's going to be no throwdown. Garrett Moffitt steals second. And now the Clovers have 2 runners in scoring position with 3 balls. So another ball will walk the bases loaded once again. And you got to think, when is it going to end here for Jack Davis? That's going to be outside. Another walk and another bases loaded is now Davey Morgan's going to step back up to the plate here. And it's looking like Davis's night might be done here as they come up to have the meeting. And sure enough it is. He'll hand the ball off. We're in for a pitching change here at East Clayton Community Park. When we come back, we'll get you the numbers on the new guy. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers Baseball. The Oak City Gliders are going to turn to new help here. Number 23, Bobby Rosado, originally from Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico, from Cerro Caso Community College. He's a junior there. So they'll turn to him in new help after Jack Davis was unable to get an out through the first 9 batters. And right off the bat, Davey Morgan's going to hit it into right field. Oh, but it's going to fall. Nobody's going to make the play on it. And the second baseman's going to drop the ball. And Jack Stark is going to make it to second. Still no outs on the board on what could have been the easiest out of the day so far for the Oak City Gliders. So bases remain loaded here for the Clovers.
Up to the plate, Mike Snyder.
Now I'm not seeing Davey Morgan on first. I think they might have actually. I'm not sure what happened. But Davey Morgan is not on first. There's no out registered on the board yet. Mike Snyder's up to bat nonetheless, though, with runners on second and third. I think it might be fair to assume that Davey Morgan in some way got out at first. They certainly didn't catch the ball. Maybe they did tag him. And in their throw down to second, we just did not see it. So now a 1-1 count here. Nonetheless, Davey Morgan will get a sacrifice RBI in that case. As that ball is going to get past the catcher, it's going to be a race to home. They'll make it. Garrett Moffitt makes it home. So we are now up to 10 runs.
That's another Clover run sponsored by KS Bank.
And it is Garrett Moffitt now the sole base runner on first base, or on third base, excuse me. Now Mike Snyder still working up a 2-1 count so far, finds himself just ahead. Very curious about what happened there to Davey Morgan. Nobody else seems to have any answers, as the board still does not have an out marked. A 2-1 count here for Mike Snyder. As he will look down Bobby Rosado. That is an excellent baseball name. And they'll check on that swing by Mike Snyder. It's going to be a 2-2 count now here. So they will say he went. So an even 2-2 for Mike. So that's going to come low, and Mike Snyder finds himself in a full count. And it's Jack Stark hanging out over on third base, hoping to get himself home here with one out on the board, presumably. That's going to be good contact. That's going to get past the first baseman, and Mike Snyder is going to go for second. Mike Snyder is going to stop at second. He might have been able to make it, though.
Mike Snyder!
It's going to be an RBI double now for Mike Snyder, his second of the night. That's going to bring it up to 11-0 for the Clayton Clovers as Jackson Dunlap now steps up.
Number 32, Jackson Dunlap!
So with presumably one out on the board, Jackson Dunlap comes up for his second time this inning. First time against Bobby Rosado. That's going to come down low for Dunlap. 1-0 count here for the hometown kid. One out on the board now officially. So David Morgan must have gotten out.
Somehow Davey got out first. We have no idea why. So
Now up to a 1-1 count.
no idea why. Yeah, us too.
So Jackson Dunlap having himself a pretty patient at bat. He's got a runner in scoring position, so he can possibly bring up
Last call for
his
your
RBI.
50-50 raffle tickets. Get them now. Last call, 50-50 raffle.
Now a 2-1 count here, and they'll catch Mike Snyder in a bit of a pickle. Snyder makes it to third on an incredible spin move. Send him to the NFL. My goodness. Mike Snyder goes off and steals third. They thought they had him good, but Snyder had the footwork to get himself to third as the third baseman is still in shock. The umpires will come in to talk about it.
You have made me very angry.
From my angle, it certainly looked like he was safe, but the umpires will know best here as they were right next to it. Oh, and they'll call Snyder out.
Snyder out on the base pass. 2 outs in the inning.
An unfortunate turn of events here for Mike Snyder, but almost had himself a SportsCenter top 10 juke. Nonetheless, the Clovers do find themselves up 11 here in this bottom of the 6th inning. So now, Jackson Dunlap with nobody on base paths now and 2 outs on the board. That'll come down to even up the count at 2-2. It's a 3-2 count, excuse me. That's going to be a hard swing and a miss. A strike 3 for Jackson Dunlap. We are going to the top of the 7th, where the Gliders are going to need 2 runs to stay alive in this game. Don't go anywhere. You are watching Clayton Clovers baseball. We are in for an exciting finish. Welcome back in here to East Clayton Community Park, where the Clovers currently thrashing up 11-0. The Gliders are going to need 2 runs here to stay alive in this game, and Clayton turns to new help on the mound, and Whit Branham had another appearance as a closer so far for the Clovers and shut them down, really. Fun sidearm pitcher. It's going to be Levi Carlton up here for the Oak City Gliders. Currently attends Wake Tech Community College, as he'll get hit by the pitch. He's heading to first.
Brings up now the first baseman, number 31, Nick Reese.
Now Nick Reese up to the plate. That Chowan University athlete from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Getting a runner on first was really what the Gliders are looking for to lead off this inning, and they have done that. They need 2 runs to keep this game alive to have any chance to take it back. And that first pitch is going to be inside for ball number 1. Sometimes it can be hard as a catcher to start off strong here. Step into a game with previous momentum, especially if it's been a few days or even a few weeks since you've pitched. It can be difficult. So Branham now looking to find his footing on the mound. I'll check on Carlton at first base. It's a singular back ranged out from one of the managers, and they will check on him now. Call him safe, though. Was pretty close. So now here comes the pitch. Going to be a hard swing and a miss. With Branham now starting to find some confidence. Getting Nick Reese to swing pretty heftily at that one. Runner's going to go down to second. A fantastic throw by Alex Levesque, and that's going to be out number 1. Believe that was a ball, so it's going to be a 3-1 count now for Nick Reese. It's a tough way to get that momentum that you started with stripped away so suddenly. And that's going to be fouled off to the left. Now a 3-2 count here for Nick Reese. Excellent way to battle back here for Whit Branham. Getting that first out at second can oftentimes build a lot of confidence. And that is fouled straight back. Now still a 3-2 count, and we have ourselves a battle here in the top of the 7th inning. Gliders who need 2 to stay alive. That ball will bounce back. Nick Reese is heading off to first base.
Puts the runner at first base. Brings up the left fielder now, number 22, Tyler Sproul.
So 2 straight walks, yet still an out here for the Clovers, as Tyler Sproul will step up to the plate. Just 1 out on the board here for the Oak City Gliders. Gliders have struggled at bat. Most players going 0 for 2. That's going to be a hard swing and miss there from Sproul. Gliders looking to turn things around quickly here. Good take on the inside. Now an even 1-1 count. 1 out on the board. That's a good hit towards center field. Looks like the right fielder, Moffitt, is underneath it, though. So it's going to be out number 2. And the Gliders are down to their last batter here in Keaton Anderson, designated hitter. They are hoping for a hit here to stay alive. They need a hit here to stay alive or a walk. But it's going to start off with a hard swing and a miss for strike one here as Whit Branham looks to close things out here. Keaton Anderson. He's going to foul that one back.
2 strikes. Let me hear you.
So now it's 2 outs, 2 strikes here as Clayton has the opportunity to close this game out and have a shutout. Winning pitcher, if they get this thing done, would be Brandon Humphreys, who pitched 6 innings. Had himself a stellar 6 innings. Now turns to Whit Branham for the shutout. That's just going to be outside. Now Keaton Anderson has battled back here to a 2-2 count. After finding himself in an 0-2 count, that can be one of the hardest things to battle back from. Keaton Anderson will foul that back, and what a battle we're seeing here. Keaton Anderson is not going to let the Clovers get away that easy. The energy is building here inside of East Clayton Community Park as looking for their 3rd straight home win. Just outside, now it's a full count. So a full count here with 2 outs in crunch time here for the Gliders. Runner's going to take off. Not that it matters. It's going to be a walk for Keaton Anderson. So now Sean Donahue has the chance to step up here as he's got a runner in scoring position and a runner on first. And Donahue could single-handedly save this game for the Oak City Gliders. He'll foul that one straight back towards Clyde the Clover. It's going to be an 0-1 count to start off this inning, or start off this at-bat, I should say. 2 outs on the board. It's going to be inside. Even up the count now at 1-1. Batters have started to be a lot more patient here with Branham. The first few just kind of swung at what they saw, and it didn't work out for him, as that one's going to get hit right towards Garrett Moffitt. Moffitt is going to end the game here for the Clovers. What a game. Clovers, who put up incredible numbers here at that bottom of the 6th inning. So the Clovers now have 3 straight home wins. They move up to 4-3 overall, 3-3 in league play. And the Clovers once again are showing the Old North State League why they need to be put on warning here, as the Clovers with 2 straight Mercy Rule wins. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is John Loomis, voice of the Clayton Clovers here. We hope you'll join us again soon. Next game here is Sunday night, 7 p.m., where the Clayton Clovers will rematch against their first loss of the season, the Kinston Wingmen. We hope to see you here at East Clayton Community Park, but if not, please join us here on this broadcast. I'm more than happy to have you.
Until next time, go Clovers! Good night, everyone!
We hope you have enjoyed this game. That's going to do it here at East Clayton Community Park. Clovers take it in 7 innings, 11-0. What's up?
I told Walter Bailey that came around and wanted
Cool.
to help you with anything.
If you would like to help with cleanup one time, done making this graphic. That's got to make this graphic. I think that's a good.
So the girl threw the t-shirt at Open.
Yeah.
One was in front of me.
And did you just like,
So
come
I
on?
leaned up under him and snagged it out from under him.
What size is it?
It's a medium, so he wasn't
Clovers
Nice.
move to 4-3 overall. 3-3 in Old North State League play. Again, be back here Sunday for another Old North State League matchup against the Wingmen. First pitch, 7 p.m.
I may actually go ahead and take Spencer back to his house, and it's like 20 minutes from our house.
Oh, wow.
Because he lives at the station.
Did you like drive to the station to do it?
That's why we're so late. It was like 20 minutes plus traffic, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I
Because
see.
traffic was like also 20 minutes.
Hey, you still beat
Still beat
Jacob.
Well, it's because they went to Clayton Community Park, not East Clayton.
Oh, they also did that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go get them.
Wait. Stage the
Okay.
You gotta beat Steve-Man! Woo!
I gotta do all the fun things here.
Oh, I love that.
I straight up just copy what the Baltimore Orioles do for their final drive. They always take a game photo. This is technically the last game. And they just have a tiny little box on the score.
Who's Caleb who said that? What's his name?
Guy with the beard? Yeah.
The young guy.
Yeah. Louis also pretty young. He just don't look it.
Which one's Louis?
Louis was. He spends most of the games in the dugout. If I see him, I'll
Caleb
call him
is the
out.
one in the green.
Well, they both wear green. But he had a beard, so it was Caleb. Louis doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, I think so. Like blonde.
Yeah.
He's very nice.
Yeah, they're both pretty nice people.
You want me to wait for England?
Nah, you can go if you really want to.
I don't really
If
want
somebody wants to stay and ride back with me, they are more than welcome to, but I'm not going to.
I just want us to get to the house at the same time. I know
No,
Spencer didn't drive to our house, and I don't want him to drive it back to the house.
Right, now that makes sense.
So I'm going to tell him he can drive over if he wants, but I'm not going to, like, PD him home.
No, definitely not. Like if Ethan wants to wait,
Yeah.
you can just relay the message to anybody who wants to wait. Feel free to take time.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Here I am, baby. John, what you need help with? I will let you know in just a second. I gotta post the final score graphic first. Sounds good. Come on.
I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how was work?
That was fun. Gotta post the final score graphic now.
You remember that place that I got for fucking acrylic for $75 for? We can go back. I want to go back. I like how she did these. They look really good. There's like the only nails that my mom likes that I ever got. Well, because